Okay, so here it is. I'm going to be finally looking at New Testament 9, at least a good summary of it for now. So, yeah, I don't think it'll be everything. I'll probably have to personally read or just look at some other things later on. But yeah, here we go with a good summary of it. And then, like, right after this, hopefully, if I can get it uploaded right, then it'll just be New Testament 10. And that'll be it for the request that someone had for me. And then after that, I think I'll go on with some other requests from there. But iron not, I really don't got much else to say. I have been enjoying the whole magical god thing. It's kind of like, yeah, you're magical gods, but yeah, I mean, they're powerful. I'll give them that. I mean, I haven't fully seen what they can do exactly yet, or heard everything, but still, they're magical guys, and it's like you got these humans basically just holding you down. I know Touma, trial and error, but still, I'm just saying, him and the other guy, I gotta remember his name, but no, Kakadu, yeah, Kakeru, with the world rejector, yeah, him doing his thing as well. But other than that, I hope you guys will enjoy this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get this thing started.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about some huge ass spoilers from the Index light novel, which is
Yeah.
way past the anime.
9 volumes
I
ahead.
expected as much from the thumbnail and title. For those of you who are too lazy to read the novel or want to refresh, we are diving into the legendary Ophinus arc and discussing what the
Nah, I'm not. It's not like I'm lazy. I don't want to feel like reading it. It's just
sad and defeated.
I don't know, I need some type of visual or something, especially for this. Nah, there's too much going on here. Story,
this tale of despair
and all that.
is not one you want to miss out on. Magic god Ophinus was the leader of a magic side terrorist group known as Gremlin. And she was working to create Gungnir,
okay, now I see it.
which would restore her reality warping powers back to 100%. And she only had 50% chance of her powers working and not backfiring upon her. An anti-Gremlin force led by the world leaders attempted to stop her. Kinda like the Avengers trying to stop Thanos from getting the stones, but the Index version. Touma himself confronted Ophinus along with Fiamma and Olorus, the former of whom hit Ophinus with something known as the Fairy Spell, which Olorus believed would stop her powers from working at all, as she turned from a god into a useless fairy. But Fiamma and Olorus done goofed, as this actually gave Ophinus 0% chance of her powers working. While that may sound bad, she could basically do the opposite of what she wanted to do to get her desired outcome. Now, that has to be the stupidest fucking L imaginable.
Yeah.
An idiot sandwich.
So yeah, he's saying that again, the whole opposite thing.
And she decides, I'll just end the world, and poof. Everything in the universe was destroyed.
Yeah, that's it.
Leaving only nothingness. And no, I'm not joking. This is actually the final illustration of the volume, symbolizing the black world with nothing in it. Truly a modern art masterpiece. But all hope is not lost, as Ophinus has spared herself and Kamijo Touma, who hasn't quite been handed his reality check, as he comes to the realization of what has transpired. But why has Ophinus kept him alive? Of course, it's because of that special right hand. Ophinus says killing Touma would be inconvenient, as she would have to wait for a Magic Breaker to re-emerge, which even a magic god like herself wouldn't be able to predict.
Yeah, I gotta just go all over again with that search.
Touma trapped with her to force him to surrender a Magic Breaker to her, or that's how her motivation appears to begin with. She wants to use a Magic Breaker to restore her own original world, which was lost due to the countless phase shifts. Phases being layers of reality which magic gods create, basically entirely new parallel universes. Ophinus can't remember her original world well enough to recreate it, but a Magic Breaker is her one last hope, as it acts as the reference point of the world itself, and has the potential to be able to restore Ophinus' preferred reality. She then exposes Touma to different phases of her creation, the first of which is the Alpha phase, where Touma is a wanted criminal worldwide. Much like how Ophinus was treated in the real world.
Oh, that
Touma's
okay.
parents have even disowned him, and his classmates actively tried to
Disowned?
kill him. Even Komoi Sensei joins in.
What?
Ophinus then switches things up and exposes him to the Beta phase, where Touma is forced to watch as another person is basically his replacement who acts as Kamijo Touma, but is not the same as him. While this new Touma interacts with his friends and classmates as normal, Ophinus is hoping this causes our own Touma to have an identity crisis, stemming from when Touma himself.
I mean, he already lost some memory. Like, come on.
Act like what he believed a person known as Touma should be. That's a lot of Toumas. God damn it.
Hedgehog Touma, what?
Touma doesn't fall into Office's trap, which then causes her to expose our poor boy to endless suffering. ReZero Steins Gate Higurashi Diavolo style. Office creates billions of realities to torment Touma with, each acting as their own version of hell. As quoted, he saw countless worlds and experienced
how can you
forms of despair.
there must be a lot of ways to
and attempted to crush him. Strange false accusations were forced onto him, and a noose was put around.
Gotta be a lot of ways to just torture someone then, I guess, like that.
It's forced to distribute his flesh
billions?
to others so that they could survive until rescue arrived. He was lying unable to move on a hospital bed and was simply stuck like that all the way to his funeral. He was buried in humus and began to decompose while still alive, starting with the ends of the arms and legs. Earth was rendered unlivable, and he was thrown into outer space to wander aimlessly in a capsule-like spaceship. As a puny human, he was destroyed by a giant robot.
That's crazy.
Asteroid. The heart had no actual form, but Kamisho clearly felt his breaking. It was not being destroyed as if struck by a hammer or sliced in two by a sword. It was a quiet destruction, as if termites had eaten into it, and it was too late by the time the symptoms began to show. While Touma was dying in these different hells, Office kept reviving him, so she would not lose Imagine Breaker. Somehow, Touma's mental state was still intact, until she exposed him to the Omega phase, where she created a world where everyone, including Touma's friends and former enemies, are all happy and living their ideal lives. Even the dead returned to live in this paradise.
Oh, okay.
In this world knew who Touma was. They were all happy without him. Touma believed this world.
But now I know, yeah, what time that picture happens, and I keep on seeing that.
Save everyone in the world.
Oh, the different people.
To want to return things back to normal, which he believed would be wrong of him to want to destroy this utopia that Office had created. And so Touma attempted to take his own life, as he had lost his purpose for living. However, he was stopped by a Soul Misaka clone, which had been possessed by an entity known as the Will of the Misaka Network, who was aware of the past and what Office was doing. This was due to the network spanning both life and death, meaning she was beyond the control of Office due to the memories of the dead clones still existing. Touma breaks down in front of the Will, saying Office bothers him in an epic emotional monologue.
Jesus.
And the Will tells him that it's okay to be selfish, and Touma has every right to try and bring his world back, even if it seems futile or means destroying everyone's happiness. And so, Touma decides to prioritize himself as he confronts Office as they battle. Touma is no match for a magic god, as she kills and revives him billions of times to force him to give up. And yet Touma continues on. Just like playing Dark Souls, after losing so many times, Touma begins to notice Office's attack patterns, as he is now able to anticipate her attacks, and even destroys Gungnir with Imagine Breaker. Touma was convinced of his victory as he closed down upon her, but Office used one of her crossbow arrows to pierce both herself and Touma, which came as a complete surprise. Most of Touma's body was destroyed, but Office was keeping him alive as she instantly regenerated her own body. Touma then figured out why Office didn't just claim Imagine Breaker sooner. She wanted him to understand what she went through, being tormented by different worlds and not being able to return to her own reality. Touma tells Office to use his right arm to restore her world, as she accepts that his reality will never come back, and that he never wanted revenge against her. Touma dies once more, as Office feels conflict. She finally had someone who understood her. Therefore, she decides to no longer be selfish, and restores Touma's world back to how it was before all the destruction. If you'd like to see a part 2 of this video with a summary of New Testament 10 and Touma,
well, yeah, there you go.
Let me know down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Okay, well, it seems like
thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
That is it for this one. Alright, so really, if anything, that just adds more clarification to the whole. I just looked at Office, right? Her whole summary as well. So, I mean, that's, and whatever's going on here is basically her summary at that point. So, yeah, this just a more in-depth showing, like, okay, how much was Touma suffering? Yeah, he didn't, like, he did go over that, but it's like, okay, how much suffering, like, was it really? You know, so like the whole thing, like, what was it, watching his own self, you know, make actions and stuff while he can't even do anything. And then all the other, you know, time, yeah, right here, and all the other deaths. Parents disown, yeah, that's crazy. So, but it's like, how do you just keep on coming out? Like, that's just weird. Like, billions of different ways to make them suffer. Like, that's just, come on, how do you just keep on thinking of things like that? But yeah, I mean, that could be a thing. I mean, literally, yeah, singly, yeah, it could be like that. Because you could just single it out. Like Tsuchimikado, he could be, you know, trying to take care of Touma, like, you know, kill him or something. But I don't know, but and then, you know, the other friend, Aogami or something, they could really just single that out, and yeah, she could just go off of that. But still, like, just, that's something else. But yeah, even the dad is back. Yeah, 'cause I was always seeing this image. I mean, I knew, like, yeah, it was after, or I knew what certain time it was. It's just like, okay, which specific. And there we go. Okay. Then talking a little bit more about Olaris there. Okay. New Testament. Yeah, the world destroyed. Combat gremlin. Okay. And even index. Okay. Yep, all of them, they were just gone. Everything. And as you can clearly see, yeah, just nothing but Touma and Artemis, right? Just done. And was this? What was this? Like, I clearly just saw her animated. Did I like miss something, or is this like a trailer for something? Because this looks completely animated by them, like the official, well, whoever studio, Kodakawa, right? Yeah. It looks like it was made, but and then this thing too. Yeah, I've seen this animated a little bit, like not the full thing, but in one of Aeon's videos, yeah, sort of animated. So I'll look that up afterwards and probably make a reaction to that. Come on, if there's any type of animation, well, even if it's fan animation, whatever, like, yeah, I'll look at that. And even, especially if it's like by the official studio as well, like, yeah, I can see like an early look of what season 4 could look like, or if they decide to do something completely different. I mean, it should still be Index, but like if they just give it a whole new name or something, I don't know. But other than that, that's about it. So yeah, we don't got much else to say. I mean, like I said, I just looked at Artemis, so it's pretty much about the same stuff, not exactly, but just a little bit more in-depth. So yeah, I guess I'll just get on to this whole New Testament 10, see what that's talking about, and yeah, just go from there. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. Make sure you like, subscribe again, and I'll just see you guys in the next one.